Hey kids, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We have another Kiesel on the bench today. This one's a new one. The first one that some of you may have seen or are going to see soon was a used one. It's the same client. We had problems with the other one, but we got them all sorted out. They're actually really cool guitars, but a couple of things we're going to talk about, so let's get to work. This one's pretty neat. I'm not sure. I have to check. Kiesel. No, I have not posted the other one. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do this one, and I'm going to post one right after another. Pretty interesting instruments. Kiesel, what I would call a boutique-y kind of guitar company, but they got their shit together. Interesting stuff. Of course, no headstock. Oh, that's cool. It doesn't bug me. We're going to check this guitar out from front to back, top to bottom. We're going to restring it because he wants to go from 10s to 9s. It is a floating bridge type system, 2-point. The tuners are all back here. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. Tuners are all back here. Now, initial impressions, this guitar is exactly the way it came from the Kiesel manufacturing plant, factory, whatever you want to call it. 2 humbuckers. The tuners are all back here, floating bridge, and as I sight it, it looks really good. It's level with the plane of the body, and you know, whether you're talking about a Floyd Rose or a Fender or whatever, you kind of want them level. A Fender, you got to have a little bit of play there where the bridge pops down onto it, but this is cut out just like a Floyd Rose would be. It's not like a Floyd Rose though. All of the tuning is done here. There isn't a locking nut per se like a Jackson or an Ibanez or whatever, you know, that has locking nut and the Floyd Rose in it. Of course, it has a different kind of saddle assembly up here because, yeah, it has to lock the string here. The ball end sits in here, and then you cut it to length and stop it there. That's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting, and not to get too much into the first one that I worked on, which was a used guitar, and it was older than this one. The main difference between the two instruments was one was a bolt-on neck. This one is a set neck. I believe it to be a set neck and not a, yeah, it's a set neck. And the pickups in the other one were not like this. This is like, say, a Les Paul. It has, you know, pickup rings with a spring underneath it. The other one had screws and springs. The screws went right into the body wood. And not to get too in-depth about the first one, the older Kiesel from this customer, we had pop-through in the back where somebody had put in, upgraded or changed the pickups and ran the screws in, not thinking of it, but they went through not only on this one, but underneath here. So, yeah, I digress. This one's different, and it's newer, and like I said, the two major differences is pickup rings, so we're not screwing directly into the body to hold the pickups, and it's a set neck, not a bolt-on. So the other one might have been a lower grade, an entry level, call it what you want, but pretty cool. We're going to start with what we always start with. I sighted the neck. I took a measurement before, and I didn't like what I saw. The neck is dead flat, and the string action is kind of all over the place. Not terrible, but extremely low. Extremely low to the point where, all right, Kiesel, you know, everybody says they want their string action really, really low, but certain rules and laws apply. The first one is neck relief. You know, and I say this over and over and over again. I must sound like a broken record sometime. Capo at the first fret, right? Let me get in the vid. Probably just a little too close. Capo at the first fret. You want to hold right at the body joint, right? And on the E string, the low E, on the 7th fret, you should be able to kiss 12 thousandths. It should not sit in there like that. All right, that's a no bueno. You can hear it, and it's stuck in there. It shouldn't do that. It should just kiss it, right? Should just kiss the feeler gauge. I can actually see it and hear it, that it's pushing the string to allow the feeler gauge to go through. Sorry, I can't live with that. And their quality control guy should have caught that. Are you rewriting the laws of how guitars are set up for just for your instruments in your little corner of the world? Okay. You guys can argue this ad nauseum, but I am going to add a little bit of relief. I may, instead of 12 thousandths, I may allow 10, you know, but just for giggles, I'm curious if they're deciding that they think they can get by with, I would guess, is probably even less than 8 thousandths. I don't know. Let's see. Even an 8 thousandths gets stuck. 8 thousandths. There's literally no relief in this. And between 8 thousandths and 12 thousandths of an inch, that's a huge jump. Sorry, you let this guitar go with the flat neck. And to get the setup where it needs to be, that's not tolerable. So first thing we're going to do is tune it up and see where we're at. I'm assuming this is we got a volume and a tone, and I'm assuming this is going to be a pickup selector as if it were a Les Paul. Same kind of configuration. It's a little, you see, I was already reaching again. It's a little flat. I have found these to be really stable once you get them set up correctly. It wasn't that far off, and the customer said he didn't touch it, he didn't mess with it, he opened it up. Anyone who believes that, stand on your head, because, well, I know this customer and I know he couldn't not mess with it. Looking at the saddles, they're sort of level, sort of flat, but again, I can see this one is tilted that way. That's your B. The high E is tilted in. And the D is tilted. Yeah, so, yeah, quality control. No, sorry. I mean, I got bad eyes and I don't let guitars go with saddles that are tilted like this. That's got to be addressed. Just out of curiosity. And this is one of my pet peeves, as you know, is pickup height. The strings are super, super, super low. The pickups are so close that you can't even get a feeler gauge underneath it, to the point where they could almost be touching the string and causing what the player would ultimately think is a buzz. I guarantee that that string is banging off of that magnetic pole right there. And the same there. Wow. Yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't abide that. This is not how you set up a guitar. Quality control going out of the factory? No. Sorry. I disagree. I'm just going to say I disagree. I don't like it. I don't like what I've seen here. I don't like what I've seen here. And I don't like the string height, which I'm going to tell you right now. Knowing that the neck is so straight that it's the string action, I know why it's so close. 3 on the low E, below 4, showing 3, 64ths. Same, a little bit higher on the A. The D is right at 3, 64ths. Not even showing 3/64ths, below 3/64ths, and 2/64ths. So, wow. I'm sorry to tell you, folks, I don't care how boutiquey your guitar is and your factory claims victory on how straight a neck can be and how low you can make your action. Can't play like that. It cannot play like that. Physics won't allow it. Buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. Yeah. The low E did not buzz, but as you get farther along, it could be buzzing off the pickups. I'm going to put less relief in this neck than I would normally would, only because, you know, that's what they claim it can stand. I'm going to pause here quickly. Before we de-string it, I'm going to do some adjustments. So stand by. I'll be right back. So what we're doing is adjusting. We're going to do a setup on it before we change the strings. Even though we're going from 9s to 10s, just to show that I'm not inflexible. I'm going to a 10. This is actually a 9 thousandths and 11 thousandths, which to me is a 10. We know that it's pretty tight. And we're going to check it with a 9 to 11, which to me is a 10. And yeah, there is literally no relief there. The size of the truss rod is 5/32, and we're going to back it off. Let's see how tight or loose it is. It's pretty tight. We're going to back it off a 1/4 of a turn. And it was super tight, by the way. Super tight. That's where it needs to be. So that's the 10. And the 12 is still tight in there. So it took a 1/4 of a turn to get it to 10 thousandths, right? Not inflexible. I'm okay with that. We're going to try that. We're going to see if it works. I think it will, because the instrument's pretty stout. We're going to keep that just for giggles. So tune it back up. Very responsive. It wasn't even a full 1/4 turn, but it it definitely went flat. These things are touchy down here. You try to get it set in there, and every time you turn on it, you can't help but move the floating bridge. You hear that? Just get it tuned back up to pitch. Oh, too far. Super sensitive. G, always. One thing I forgot to get was the whammy bar out of the customer's case. I'm going to get that right now because, yep, we're going to need it. Stand by. Stand by. Where are you? Right there. Nope, went flat. It's holding pretty level, but I'm not sure why it's not being stable. Wow, isn't this fun? I don't know what strings they use. I wish I knew. It might just be that they're new. It's a brand, by their own admission, it's a brand new guitar, but not very stable. Every time you touch a tuner, you can't turn a tuner without activating the trim slightly. Okay, there we go. Of course, the G was sharp that time. Just out of curiosity. G is way sharp. B is sharp. Okay, so we got the G, the E, low E is acceptable. A, acceptable. No, that's going a little sharp too. I did not get the intonation right. G, way sharp. See, now regular tuning is sharp. Yeah, the G, B, and The G and the B are sharp a little bit. That's just a minor adjustment. That could be wood moving. After we adjusted the neck relief, let's just get a look at what the string action is doing. Now this is all an exercise because it's a brand new guitar, and I want to know where we start exactly. So the neck relief got us over 4 on the bass E, slightly over 4, slightly over 4, 4, 4, and below 4. So I think, and I'm going to say that probably just from shipping, the neck needed a minor adjustment. Now, keep in mind, we're going to go from 10s to 9s on this guitar. We're not going to finish this entire guitar today because just stringing this thing is a nightmare. You have to back everything off, get them loose, make sure everything is pulled up to where you can pull the strings out of here and loosen them and unattach them from there. I know this because I've done the other one twice and changed pickups in it and yeah, all kinds of stuff. But I think he's going to be very happy with this instrument. I don't know if he's going to be happy with these pickups, but because he's this particular client, he's very particular about what kind of pickups he wants. But that little adjustment, less than a quarter of a turn there, got us to string action where I go, okay, I can go, yeah, showing 4/64 across the radius with the exception of the high E. I can live with that, and I'll bet you just as sure as God made little green donuts that it's probably not buzzing now. See, the A was buzzing badly, and the D. That one might be a little bit too low. Like that. So our wound strings, the D was buzzing slightly at the 9th fret. Sorry. I'm okay with that. I'm going to bring them all to where 4/64 is showing, and we should be good there with that neck relief. But we're going to have to adjust that again, probably because we're going from 10s to 9s, as I said before. But pretty stable. I don't hear any tinking, any strings catching, and it's coming right back to pitch. So out of the box, I would give this guitar, Kiesel, I would give it an A minus, maybe because the neck relief and the string action's a little wonky, and the pickup height's too close, an A minus. But this is going to be a sweet little instrument once we restring it and do the final setup on it, which is going to be the next video. Sorry, we're not going to do the whole thing in this video. We'll talk soon. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for all your comments. I've got a bunch of comments that I have to respond to. I would also like to say that there was a comment from a viewer about a Taylor bolt-on necks. Yes, Taylors do use bolt-on necks now. They didn't a long time ago. Up until recent history, they started using bolt-on necks. So I'm talking to you. You know who you are. We'll talk soon.